Hello, everyone out there. Welcome to Code.org's CS Journeys class chat. My name is Pat Jan Pradit, and I'm Code.org's Chief Academic Officer. I'm here in Maryland, and I want to welcome our panelists today, Anna and Ava from iRobot. Anna, Ava, why don't you say hi?
Hello.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
We are going to start with a fun icebreaker. All right, kids. And our panelists don't know what the icebreaker is, so this is totally impromptu. And what we're going to do is that we're going to play a game of Would You Rather. All right. And the thing here with this game of Would You Rather is you actually have to do the thing that you would rather. So, Anna, Ava, would you rather dance the robot, like for us actually, dance the robot, or sing some lyrics from a recent song you played or heard or whatever?
Ooh.
I'll let you think about that. And since you know I'm putting you on the spot and it takes maybe a teeny bit of prep, I'm gonna allow you to pick one for me. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
You can pick for me. Either one. I'm like kind of like 50-50. Pick one for me.
Ava, what are you feeling like?
I want to hear Pat sing.
I do too, 100%.
Okay, all right. So Anna and Ava know the song that I've been listening to, and it has something to do with a question I'm going to ask our panelists later on. But a recent song that I've been listening to a lot, it's one of my favorite songs. It's from the 90s. It's by Nelly. It's a song called Air Force Ones. Okay, so I'm going to rap just the first few lyrics. Okay, kids? And this is the clean version, kids. So this is from the 90s, kids, probably before you were born. Give me two purrs. I need two purrs so I can get to stomping in my Air Force One. Big boys stomping in my Air Force Ones. All right. All right. See, that's what happens when you play Would You Rather and you actually act it out. Now, we'll start with Anna. Anna, would you rather do the robot or sing some lyrics from a recent song?
I think I'm gonna have to embrace my dance moves and do the robot. Ava, what are you feeling like? Is this gonna be a coordinated dance or are you gonna go solo?
We should coordinate that dance because
Okay. So we're doing this. We're dancing the robot.
On the count of three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. iRobot does the robot. Yes. Yes, there you go. Very good. All right. iRobot doing the robot. That's amazing. You know what else is amazing? Their jobs. So let's start off with just having Anna and Ava telling us about their work. What do you do and how does your work help your community? We'll start with Ava.
Sure. So what I do on a day-to-day is I'm mostly in a lot of meetings, but I get to be in a lot of meetings with a lot of cool people where we all kind of sit together and collaborate and think of how we can solve some of the hard problems that the company's facing or what cool features can go on the robot. For example, we had a meeting for our last robot where we discussed some of the features and poop detection was one of them. So I got to work with.
To be clear for kids, poop detection?
Yes, poop detection. So the robot will drive around your house and if your pet, if your dog or your cat did a no-no on the floor, the robot will see it and it will drive around it instead of smearing it all over your house.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Which nobody wants.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah.
Sounds cool, Ava. Anna, what do you do?
Yeah, well, I'm also in a lot of meetings with Ava outside of work and inside of work, but at my job is a learning designer, which I had never heard of before. And I used to be a teacher, and it feels like I'm still a teacher in this job. So a lot of your students in the crowd, right? You have your teachers that are planning lessons and really fun activities to help you learn different things. And that's what I get to do in my job. I get to do it with one of our super cool educational robots called Root. So everybody, this is Root. Root is a super cool, awesome robot that has lots of sensors and features like Ava was talking about. We have light sensors in the eyes so it can detect if it's bright or if it's dark outside. There's touch sensors here on the top of our robot, so you can touch them and code Root to move or turn or play music. In the center here, we have this, there's a hole right there. This is where we can put in a marker because our robot can draw. So you can put a marker in there. You can make Root glow up on the lights here. There's bump sensors in the front. So as I'm driving my robot, it bumps into something, I can code it to move around, maybe navigate an obstacle course. And on the bottom of our robot, there's also more sensors, like our cliff sensor here. This is great. It'll detect an edge. If I'm driving on my desktop, I don't want my robot to fall off, so it's going to stop when it sees an edge, when there's nothing below it. There's a color sensor here, so it can see 4 different colors. And I think the coolest part about our robot is that it's magnetic. So it can go up on a whiteboard and drive around and draw whatever I wanted to, play music, or really whatever I want, as long as I can do it with code.
Wow.
So
cool.
Yeah. So I get to design cool projects like coding pizza slices and having people eat the pizza, or playing lots of other fun games too.
Mm-hmm. So, iRobot obviously is a company that creates robots, and Ava was talking about the Roomba, I believe, right?
Yep.
What else? And there's this robot. How do you spell the name? Root?
ROOT.
Okay, yeah. What like what's a brief summary of what iRobot does? Like, is it just about making those 2 robots? Is it just about making robots that work around the house? Like what is iRobot all about?
Yeah, that's a great question, Pat. Ava, chime in, but iRobot, so Ava was talking about our Roomba robot. So we have a lot of robots that help out around your home. So we have a vacuuming robot, we have a mopping robot if you spill something. So iRobot is a company that's really dedicated to building robots that are going to help you in your life wherever you are, at home or at school. So we're not just about vacuuming and mopping. We also care a lot about what you're learning in your classrooms. And I know Ava can talk a little bit about our STEM outreach program and how we go into classrooms just like this, but really help make those connections between what you're learning in school and your math classes to what we're doing at a big tech company like iRobot.
And Ava, about that Roomba and the poop detection, how a class wants to know, a 5th grade class wants to know, how long did it take to program the robot to find the poop? And do you have some pictures for us?
Anna, I think, has a slide with some pictures, but that's a great question. It took a long time, but what's more impressive, I would say, like, it took a year or so, but what's more impressive is it took a lot of people working on it together with different skill sets. So I got to work with one of my really cool colleagues, and she is a machine learning guru. So her team was in charge of getting the pictures and figuring out what is poop, what's not poop, what the robot can run over, what it can't run over. And then my team was in charge of kind of helping her process those images and upload them so they can see the images in order to make these decisions in a fast enough time where the robot can react. So that's just an example, but it took it was a huge effort. It took a lot of people, a lot of different skill sets to work together. And even that, it took a year to deliver this.
Got it. Wow. And so that was a question that was asked us by Southside Elementary, actually. Hi, Southside Elementary. So if anyone else out there has questions, please put them in the Q&A, and we'll definitely ask our panelists those questions. Moving on, though, what's awesome about your job? We'll start with Anna. What's awesome about your job, Anna?
My job is really cool and really fun. I get to work with an incredible group of people. I have to shout out my team. We have a really small team. If any of you have worked on a group project before or worked in maybe a station or a center in your classroom, this is kind of like what working on a team is like. You're with all of these really cool people who happen to be your friends who are brilliant and come up with these amazing ideas that you say, okay, let's try it. So one idea that our team came up with was building with Lego. Maybe a lot of you like to build with these kind of bricks, like this little dinosaur that my niece built me, or we have a little space shuttle like this. How many of you like to build with Legos?
Raise your hand, guys.
Yeah, right. Let me see.
I like to build with Legos.
Awesome. So our team also likes to do that. And we're all like big kids. So we designed this piece that goes on top of our robot like this. So now we can start building on top and start building things like mechanical arms and like dinosaurs and catapults. And we get to have these really fun ways that we call them play testing in our office. So we want to make sure that they're fun for everybody and not just fun for us. So when we launch them to your classroom, we've already tested them inside. So our team is really awesome and super fun to work with, and they inspire me every day. So it's really cool to be able to think of an idea and then make that happen.
Wow. That's so interesting that someone could have a job where they're creating activities, learning activities, like school activities, kids, but they're super fun and engaging, and then they get to spread those activities and that equipment all throughout the world. That's so cool. Ava, what about you? What's awesome about your job?
I think the first part is I get to work with Anna, because Anna's awesome. And she's one of my best friends before she worked at iRobot. The next thing that's like awesome about my job is I get to build robots and see all the different teams and all the different types of engineering and all the different thoughts that it takes to build these robots. Not only that, I get to build robots that help clean your home so people have more time to do the things that they like to do, like play video games or watch anime, or, you know, those are things I enjoy. So I think that's the best part about my job.
Yeah. Ava, when did you start working at iRobot?
I started as an engineer about 3 years ago in 2018, and I started this new role probably 6 months ago.
Okay. And that new role again is?
Director of software engineering.
Director of software engineering. All right. That's what a director of software engineering does. And Anna, how long have you been working with iRobot?
Yeah, I joined our team in 2019, so just over 2 years. Just my 2-year anniversary a few weeks ago.
And you were teaching before that, right?
Yeah, I was teaching and also working on a makerspace, which is how I met Ava. We were trying to design a cool STEM robotics program, and I had no idea where to start. And then I coincidentally just met Ava, and she was like, hey, I'm looking for something cool to do. I love working with kids, and I'm brilliant, and I have all these awesome skills. And so she helped us build this really awesome robotics program.
Okay, cool. You know, we have some questions in the chat, so I'm going to actually take a couple more of these questions. What is your favorite thing to code? What is your favorite thing to code? And either of you can answer this question.
That's a great question. For me, it's how I can get different devices to communicate with another device. So I like coding the software, the program that will allow that communication. So if I want the robot to say, hey, I'm stuck, I like to be able to code so the robot can take that message and send it to your phone or send it to somewhere that you can see it. Yeah.
Oh, that's really, yeah, I don't have a Roomba yet, but that's an important feature, right? If it is stuck, to let someone know to get it unstuck rather than just staying there.
Yeah.
And Anna, what about you? What's your favorite thing to code?
Yeah, can I share real quick? I have a couple of favorite projects that I've loved to be able to create and contribute to. So one is We talked earlier about coding slices of pizza. How many of you like pizza? I love pizza. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I know Ava loves pizza, but we could create this with code. So one of my teammates coded this slice of pizza, and then we have to code how to eat that slice of pizza, right? So you can do really fun things with code as well. Like also creating something for a friend, like a card that you've coded, and you can code it in a simulator and then take a screenshot of that, print it out, and give it to someone that you care about to express kind of how you're feeling, right? So code is used for self-expression and being able to share those feelings with the people that you care about. And then we also have this really cool game that one of our teammates designed, and it was a group project, but it's all about mini golf. And so it teaches you how to code, but in this gamified, fun way, so that you can learn to do these basics, and then you can be able to do things like Ava, and she's helping mentor people in her director role, people who are learning how to code always. I think that's the most important thing, is that we're always learning and always trying to get better at what we do so we can help other people.
Any robots that you all are working on right now that you can talk about? Or any new robots planned at iRobot?
We're always working on something. There's not much I can share, but as a robotics company, you can imagine we're always working on something, using our brains to figure out what other cool things we can introduce.
Okay, and is it mainly around the home? Is that where you guys kind of like, do you mainly work on robots that work in the home, or do you work on robots outside the home as well?
So for the most part, we mainly work on robots around the home. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
And we can share one of the educational robots that actually just was announced Wednesday, so 2 days ago. So this is like hot information for everybody. It's one of our advanced robots. So once you get really good at coding with our root robot, then you can get more advanced with something called Create 3. And it's going to be out officially in April. So we were just letting people know that they can start helping us test. So we're looking for people who have a lot of experience with robotics, because it's one that will help you grow, right? And so we just released that information. But coming back to what Ava was talking about in the beginning about how long it takes to build a robot, this robot, we're looking for people to give us information to let us know, okay, what works for you and what can we do better? And then we do something called iterate. Maybe some of you know this when you're writing an essay, right? Or working on something in class, like a paragraph or a sentence, and you have to edit it. And someone next to you, maybe your best friend, is like, hey, I think you could do better. I think you could say this in a different way. And you scratch it out and correct it and start to really make it the best work that you possibly can put out. That's what we try to do with our robots all the time. We're always trying to make them better for the people that are using them.
Yeah, iteration is super important. I think that's probably my favorite part of coding, actually, iterating and debugging, and making something more efficient, what have you. I know you all are very interesting people. And one of the great things about having a job like yours is that it allows you to pursue certain passions, right? So what do you do outside of work? Let's start with Ava. What do you do outside of work?
Well, a passion of mine is collecting sneakers.
Hold on. Hey, kids out there. Wow, we have the director of software engineering at iRobot, who's a sneakerhead. Look at that.
Yes.
All right, Ava.
Show and tell.
All right. Whoa.
Whoa.
That probably fits some of you all too out there.
It definitely does, but this is like one of my favorite pairs. It's the Jordan 1. I have a few pairs of the Jordan 1s, but this color is my favorite just because it's so vibrant and out there, and bam.
Is that a gum wall sole? A gum sole?
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
My other favorite is the Nike Airs. I always wanted these growing up. My older brother had them, and I couldn't get them yet. So now that I'm an adult, still wearing kid sizes, but an adult, I had to buy them, and I love the colors on them. So this is my other favorite.
Cool.
my third favorite is the Jordan 5s.
Ah,
This was a collaboration. This is my favorite because it was a collaboration with Off-White. So I like the little zip tie here. Then there's this little details here.
wow.
It was all about the details.
Wow.
All about the details.
So yeah, that's what I do. I collect different types of sneakers, mostly Jordans, but I'm just a sneakerhead at heart.
I'm sure some kids, some teachers are trying to calm some kids down right now because they're probably excited and they're looking at those shoes and thinking, oh, I want that. And kids, yeah, when you get a good job, it's not just about the job as well as about the life that you can live. I know a lot of people who like to travel a lot, and getting a job in technology allows them to pursue those types of passions. Anna, what about you? What passions do you have?
Yeah. I love to make art. So I love to make art with people I don't know, with friends, with family. I'm always looking for opportunities to just put out some art supplies on the table and just invite folks to come over and draw or collage, dabble, whatever you need to do. I always carry some kind of art supply wherever I go in my purse. So there's always opportunities to like sign something or to make a little doodle. And I've done this my entire life. I've always found myself creating in these little places or little spaces and trying to get people to share whatever they need to share as well. So lots of art, lots of dancing. We've been salsa dancing a lot, my partner and I, in our kitchen. And then I have a really cute dog that I love. So we go on lots of walks together too.
Well, you were mentioning some things like art and just making things that I think you probably have been doing all your life, Anna. Is that right?
All my life?
Yeah, you've been doing these things like art and making things all your life.
Yeah, I have.
Do you want to, so what were you like when you were little, Anna?
Yeah. I have a piece of art here that my mom has saved. Let's see. So get ready, everybody.
How old were you when you made this piece of art?
So I was probably, I don't know, maybe I was in first grade or second grade. Obviously, that is my best creation. It is a rainbow unicorn for those of you who cannot obviously detect what I've created. And that's my signature. It looks a little different now, but I always, as an artist, I was always encouraged, make sure you sign your name on your work and be proud of what you've done. So this is, I loved rainbows and I loved color. I just loved expressing myself and finding different ways. Obviously, you can see in the second picture, that is also me dressed up as I would in any kind of print or pattern that I found in my closet. And also I wanted curly hair forever and ever. So I would put rollers in my hair and, oh my goodness, wild times. So, but I always found ways to just try to be me and be myself authentically, whatever that looked like. And then I always loved trying new things. So this is me. Eva, I think you also love basketball, and we've played basketball quite a few times, but this was my first attempt at basketball once upon a time, or soccer or gymnastics. We're not really sure what was going on there, but yeah, probably karate. But yeah, I've always been interested in pushing myself and trying new things, and just always trying to learn wherever I can, in any capacity. So it was pretty adventurous as a kid.
So Ava, what were you like as a kid?
So I'll say this part in Spanish a little bit. Yo nací en la República Dominicana y vine aquí a los Estados Unidos con mi familia cuando tenía como 4 años y me crié en Lawrence, Massachusetts, que es una ciudad de inmigrantes, así que siempre la cultura mía, la cultura dominicana siempre fue una parte de mi vida y continúa siendo una parte de mi vida. When I was a child, what I said there was I was born in the Dominican Republic and I came here to the US when I was about 4, and I was raised in Lawrence, Massachusetts, which is mostly a city of immigrants. So I was able to be raised around my culture and continue to participate in my culture, which was a huge part of me growing up. I grew up very family oriented, always around family. But as a child, I was very sporty. I played a lot of sports with my two older brothers. So basketball, baseball, softball, football. And I also practiced karate. Anna has pictures.
Can I share?
Sure.
Pictures.
So yeah, I think as a child, I tapped into kind of the competitive side and the sports side, which taught me a lot about teamwork, collaboration, competition, working hard, and discipline. And from my mom and my dad's side, my dad's a painter and my mom's a writer. So I also tried to paint and write to kind of follow in their footsteps. So I was just a ball of, like, I would say, sportiness and creativity.
And also like a casual black belt. Like, what? These are fun things that you learn about your friends. I'm sure all of you have learned different things, fun facts that surprised you about the people that you know so well. But that was one thing that I didn't know about Ava. The other part on here is, look at that last picture and how big that trophy is. Like, that's huge. So we were thinking, do you think that trophy is bigger than baby Ava, or is Ava bigger than the trophy? What do you think?
What do you guys think, huh? All right.
Well, let's take a peek.
Oh, we have a picture. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. So actually, after doing some math here, we're putting some hard math skills to the test, everybody. That trophy is actually smaller than Ava, but only by a few inches. How wild. So that's baby Ava.
Yeah, so kids, look, you get to at iRobot, obviously people get to work with their friends and create exciting things. Eva, Anna, unfortunately we're at the end here, and I just wanted to give you one last chance to share something with the kids that might motivate them to pursue a job like yours as a learning designer at a technology company, or as a director of software engineering, or just a software engineer in general. Like, what would you want to share with our students so that they might consider following in your footsteps?
Sure, I can go first. I want to share that coding enables you to build a lot of cool things. It doesn't have to be robotics. You can build websites, you can build games. It's kind of endless what you can do with coding. But it is hard. I struggled in college. It didn't come easy. Pat and I were joking before that I would cry sometimes when I would get homework. I would get stuck. And I had people to help me along the way. My brother Misael helped me. It's, as long as you have a support system, you can get through it. And your support system can be your teacher, it can be anyone, but just know that it is hard and you have to be resilient. But just don't give up because it's hard. You'll be able to create a lot of awesome things, and you all have something to contribute and great ideas, I'm sure. So I can't wait to see what the future looks like when you're all coding drones and different robots and different things to do. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to say.
Yes, 100%. Yes. I want to second all of that, and then just add in, when you're curious about something, follow that thought or whatever it is that's piquing your interest. I would never have imagined myself here in this job. I didn't know what I wanted to be, and I always thought, I have to have a plan. I have to have a plan. I have to be this, or I have to be this. And really, you can be so many things. There's not one path. Your path is going to take you on lots of different twists and turns and ups and downs, just like Ava was talking about. Sometimes you're going to cry and sometimes you're going to be so excited. But as long as you're learning something along the way, I think that you are, again, like Ava said, you're going to do great things. And we don't even know what's going to be happening in the next 5, 10, 15 years. You're going to be creating those things. So stay passionate and stay curious.
Yes.
All right, kids. Thank you again, Anna, Ava from iRobot. And that ends our class chat today. Please visit the CS Journeys website for more resources and to sign up for other class chats that we're having. Thank you. Bye, everyone.